we're going to do this. This is how we start off our shows, okay? We start off on the left side, and we go, hodl, 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 save, 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 build a, build a, build a, sound money, sound money. All right, this is Ugly Old Goat here. I'm not going to go through my regular song and dance because I'm focused on the BitMEX utility coin. Guys, I think this is really important because I definitely, again, Arthur Hayes and the founders of BitMEX are my heroes. I think they have really, innovated in the marketplace. And against, my inclinations, they introduced a utility coin called BitMEX. And I was opposed to it, but they did it, and now they kind of have to. And I've written about it again. I've referenced all this on X, so I've just started using this. Again, I'm going to be changing things over. I'm actually going to be working on a 24/7 service on Bitcoin because it trades 24/7. We want to cover it 24/7. But there's a lot more to it than I thought, and so I'm just addressing a very important issue because I think if this gets resolved, you will see a definite use case for utility coins. Basically, once you have tied a utility coin to a fee structure, then you have to honor that structure. So I've just updated the article. Again, this is, if you go to my X, are we screen sharing now? Yeah. So if we go here, and you can see that, whoops, there's the original article, the BitMEX rug pull, and this is my new article. Whoops. No, it's not. Where? There it is. Okay, the second article. Oh, okay. There's the first one.
That's the second one.
Okay. This is the second. So where's the first one? Right there. Okay, there's the first one. We're live streaming now here. I get confused on this stuff. And here's the second article. So we're going to go here, and I'm going to just read it out loud. And again, so the question I'm asking is, why is this rate change not a rug pull? And basically, what I'm arguing and stating is that there's an ethical dilemma once you tie a rate structure to utility token. And this article, which I just wrote this morning, is an update to the earlier article, which is more thorough with all the links. Now, so far, neither Arthur Hayes or BitMEX or BitMEX Research have addressed the issue. However, BitMEX support has, and while also escalating the problem. And so here is, I published, how they're addressing it now. And presently, the support, BitMEX support, defines a rug pull as something done by malicious actors who lie to users about what they're offering, and they usually don't offer anything and just disappear without a trace. But that's not how I'm defining a rug pull. If that's how you define it, then it's not a rug pull. But a rug pull neither needs to be intentionally malicious, nor must the offer of the rug pull need to disappear. And as I outlined in the article, the BitMEX rug pull, I'm not saying that BitMEX is acting maliciously or that they're about to fail or disappear. But there are some very disconcerting things that need to be addressed. In fact, quite the opposite. Rather than bad-mouthing BitMEX, I love BitMEX. And it's because I believe in a free market, and I believe in free speech, and I believe that a free press act as sufficient decentralization regulation to correct the marketplace, and because I have deep respect for the founders of BitMEX for their accomplishments, that I bring this matter up for public discussion and set an example of how market self-regulation can operate and can work in opposition to the Michael Saylor model of crony capitalism. Now, Michael Saylor just made the headlines in the Bitcoin world because of some of the remarks that he had, arguing against self-custody. and praising regulation of Bitcoin. Well, my mentor, E.C. Harwood, taught me that the three greatest swindles of all time are: number one is inflation, number two is entitlements, and number three is a regulation. All three of these are done by governments, not the marketplace. So the essence of this issue is that once a fee structure is tied to a utility token, then that structure must be honored, or should be honored. Let's put it, of course you don't have to honor it, but you should. I should change that to it should be honored. And my argument is simple. Those who have purchased and staked BitMEX tokens since January 4th, 2023 have no reason to expect a fee change allowed in the terms of service that should adversely affect them. Now, this does not mean that BitMEX cannot change their fee structure. They are free to do this until they tied it to a utility token. It simply means that with such a fee structure, such a fee structure change should be for new clients only purchasing and staking the BitMEX tokens. Further, once a fee structure is tied to a token, the allowance of private negotiations for a fee structure apart from the utility token yields such a utility token worthless for its purported utilitarian purpose. In other words, once you've tied your fee structure to this token, you can't be doing under to the table deals. Well, the token no longer counts here because we have this special contract without the token. So this is what I've opened for discussion. I do hope that you know, I think that there's an opportunity here because Arthur Hayes is a great thinker. I believe that the exchanges are operating as banks right now. And again, money is not, I've never claimed that money is Bitcoin, okay? Money is the most tradable commodity. And it depends upon what standard it operates on. You know, you can choose, standards are different from that. But BitMEX has made a very tradable commodity on their exchange. And so I think we're pioneering sound commercial banking, and that, yes, we know what Bitcoin's about because it's independent from us. But as if BitMEX is, and it's emerging as a bank, then they have to have integrity. If they're going to offer a BitMEX token, they have to stand behind their offers. Again, and again, we can look at the rates. Here's basically what I'm saying. Here is the new rate, and here's the new rate. Where they require that you have 100,000 tokens, and this is a huge increase. Here's the old rate, this one here, and if you see 100,000, the rate they've just hugely increased the rates, and this is what they can't do. If you've encouraged people to buy the token and encouraged them to stake it, and you've offered these rates, you just can't all of a sudden change the rates and make it retroactive. You certainly can use this new rate for new clients, but they can't. You know, they should not be doing it for their old clients. And then the other problem that I have with their official answer so far, they're implying that, oh well, we can negotiate the rates with you. Well, that's the problem. If the rates are negotiated as they were before the token, okay, then what's the purpose of the token? The problem is you've tied your rates to this token, and so you have to honor those rates that you've offered. If you had not tied it, then yes, you could do this on a heartbeat. That's what BitMEX did before this. The issue here is they've tied their rates to a token. That is the issue, and it needs to be addressed. If they can confront this issue and deal with it, I think we can turn shitcoins into Shinola. Then we can demonstrate that there is tokens can be used for a utilitarian purpose, much like airline miles. So this is the point of discussion. So I'm done with that. I'll quickly look at the markets, guys. Again, I'm not focusing on that. I've been long and just sold out today. I wanted to show this. You're on a 4-hour weekly for. You're testing the 70,000 mark. You're starting to move all the moving averages up. So we'll see what happens in here. We tested the 70,000, and so far we have not gone through it. That's where we are right now. Again, my focus right now is not going to be on the marketplace. I will be doing that. My focus right now, because I think this is vitally important, because I think Arthur Hayes, BitMEX, and BitMEX Research, they're great minds. They're pioneering influences on this thing, and they need to address this issue. And if they address it with integrity, if they address it in the way it needs to be addressed right now, I think, let's make BitMEX great again. I think they'll be on the way of doing that. So this will be very interesting. You have this problem right now that people like me that are holding these tokens, it takes 14 days to unstake them. So what's going to happen? Are we going to break this market substantially? Let's go look at the, let's go look at this. If you look at the BitMEX token, you can see it has now trading. It's now trading below 10 cents. And basically, they've knocked this value down. I mean, we've done studies on it, and there's no reason to hold more than 1,000 tokens with what they've done to people. And basically, they're going to destroy their exchange if they do this to their clients. And here it is. You can see this now. This thing, the token's not worth 10 cents. It's maybe worth a penny. It can go down another 90% from here because they just did a rug pull on the token. So, and that's going to undermine the exchange completely, because for the last year and a half, they have encouraged people to buy their token to get the lower rates. And now all of a sudden those rates aren't available. And they're not going to, we can do that because of the terms of service. Well, I think it's questionable legally whether you can do it. Ethically, I know you can't. You can't do it. If you're going to offer these rates, which they offered here for for over a year and a half, and now all of a sudden, well, you own the token, you don't get these rates anymore. That's a rug pull. And show me if it's not a rug pull. Then Arthur, show us how it's not. You have to have integrity if you're going to market these things as one thing. You just can't pull the rug out from under what your promotion has been. We had no expectation that these rates would change until they changed them all of a sudden, on October 3rd. And I have, BitMEX can change their rates. That's not the issue. They can change their rates to what they call the simpler fees and bigger rewards. Well, it's simpler, but the rewards are much smaller. And so what they're doing, if they don't change this model, if they go to this, the value there, and there's also implications that they're willing to negotiate private rates apart from the token. Well, what's your token good for? You're trying to connect your rates to the token, but then you disconnect it and say, well, you don't need the token, you can negotiate with us separately. So you can't do that. You can't have, this is what FTX did with Alameda Research. They had special rates and, didn't even have margin requirements, This is what destroyed the exchange. And I don't think BitMEX is operating that way at all. They're just doing it to their token, but the principle is the same. And they can build value in this token. In fact, there's all kinds of things I think that can be done, but the most important thing is you have to have, if you're going to use a token to promote a fee structure, then you have to honor that fee structure. And that's all that needs to be done here. This is the new one. And here's the old one. And you can see the difference here. My rate, I was paying minus 0.003 and 0.24. Now it's gone to 0.5 and 0.25. Let's see, 0.5 0.5 and 0.2. This is just ridiculous. That's a huge increase in fees, and so. And they can do that, but the problem they have is they've sold all these tokens and they promoted it, and now they're just pulling the rug out from everyone. And I think it's very questionable whether or not the terms of service really apply retroactively when you've been promoting it as one thing. And for sure, if you're promoting that your token is tied to your fee structure, then you can't negotiate fee structures apart from your token because you just tied them both together. So there's my argument. We're going to get on right after this and do a spaces. So if anybody wants to get on and discuss this in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to try spaces. So I hope you enjoyed this little short YouTube, and we're going to do a spaces. And of course, I invite Arthur Hayes or anyone from BitMEX to get on if they want to address this issue. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in a bit on spaces. Bye-bye.